The episode that really resonated with me was probably the most useless one, to be exact, an arc, but the episode really struck a chord in me. And it started with Gintama laughing at Shinpachi for having a screwdriver as his finger. A moment later, he has to go to the toilet and realizes that he is also screwed. And Kagura as well is just a screwdriver. And how did it happen? Because some aliens needed to fix their PS5. And the only clue that these three have is the predicament that they love video games and need a specific screwdriver. The problem is that they can't find that screwdriver anywhere, so they just transfigure them. So as the arc progresses, they decided to hunt down these aliens by diving into a massively multiplayer online game called Monkey Hunter. And that's a gamer move, I might say. And it sounds very familiar. It should, because it's not far off from games like World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy. So here's where it gets interesting. As they spend 3 weeks grinding away trying to actually find those aliens in game, they encounter their real life friends also playing the game, which by the way, they're all turned into screwdrivers. To get to the point, I've been doing the exact same thing. I've been using games as an escape for years, and I never really stopped thinking about it. So, you know the part where I said that they would be smart and they would play the game? I thought the same, because if I started making videos, I could potentially still, escape reality and make money out of it. But I had a good reason for it, and it was indeed spite. Because my dad used to shut down the router at midnight when I was still in middle school. So I came up with this idea that I'd prove him wrong and, I could make money, I could be popular by just doing what I loved. But I didn't turn out this way for a simple reason like that. Stuff added up, things happened in life and I needed to escape, you could say. But you might point your finger now and say, you've already complained about this. I bet I'm not alone. Just think about it, like, you've been binge watching entire seasons of shows instead of dealing with your problems, or just scrolling on TikTok before you have to fix your assignments or whatever. And that brings me back to Gintama, because the episode reaches its climax when the characters realize they've made no progress in solving the real life problem. And then the heavy hitter of Shinpachi says, perhaps without realizing we were running away. We kept reminding ourselves that the only way to catch the aliens was through the game, but we were ignoring the harsh reality we were stuck in and decided to escape. And man, I gotta say, it struck a chord in me, and as I'm getting older, I think I understand my father a lot more, and he just wanted the best for me. He wanted me to study at that time, to get into university, to have an okay job, because even if I'm working a 9 to 5, it's more worth to be in the office than to break your back for the same pay. And at least I'm privileged enough to have this mentality. That's what I think he had in mind. It had the very opposite effect, that's what I have to say. And of course, I've internally forgiven my dad, but I've realized maybe I'm not really working towards the goal that I had in mind a long time ago. I'm just using it as an excuse to avoid the real world, because I'm a 22-year-old university student. I failed my first year, and this year, thankfully, it's my last one. So in the upcoming year, I will be thrown into the stock exchange of people. As the episode puts it, I'll have to find a job like Gintoki did, maybe commute for hours each day and accept the reality of working, having a few hours of free time. And I'm not gonna lie, the thought kind of terrifies me, and I've realized that I've been using gaming to avoid thinking about my job and what I'll do after. I realized that I've been using my passion for content creation and gaming not just as a hobby, but as a shield against the uncertainties of life. But here's how I see it. Escaping isn't inherently bad. I needed some breaks from reality at some points. The problem came when I just made it my default mode, when I started using it to avoid rather to enhance my life. I mean, at least it could be worse. I could do, drugs or alcohol, not that I'm just coping at this point. The dumb Gintama episode made me realize that I've got one more year to give it my all, and one more year to try to make my dream of doing what I'm doing work out. And it's very simple. Even if I do fail, I just want to work with people in whatever I do and just see amazing results because I came in the company. That would personally make me very happy. And I also want to add that I'm very self-aware of the issue I have. So if I had this one thing that I'm set on, you would understand that I wouldn't be fulfilled doing other things. So if I only game and don't make videos, I feel empty. Gintoki probably was empty because he was not normal, and the episode ends with him taking a ridiculous risk to turn everybody back. He puts his screwdriver inside the hole and bam, everybody's back to normal. What am I gonna do with this realization that I'm not concentrating on my goal rather than just escaping? I'm not gonna stop gaming or making videos even if I work, but I'm going to be more mindful of why I'm doing it. So with that, if you don't mind, subscribe to the channel and have a nice day.